Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Oprah Winfrey.
Purple? They're wearing purple?
That's right.
Is this sensational or what?
Well, it's very exciting, and, you know, I can't thank you enough. I really can't thank you enough. It means a great deal to me, and I'm just very happy you're here.
Does it really?
Absolutely.
No, really. Does it really? I've been hearing for the past week you talking about it, and I didn't know if you were really serious or were you just doing your Dave thing. Yeah.
Just doing my Dave thing.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, you must know that for 16 years now...
16 and a half.
16 and a half.
Yeah.
Virtually every week we've contacted you. I have tried to get a hold of you personally. So, yes, absolutely. Just in terms of wanting you to come back, it means a great deal to me. And considering everything that has transpired, it means even more to me.
Could you tell me, please, what has transpired? I am really so curious because for years I've heard you talk about, and now the press talks about this big feud that we have.
Yes.
I have never had a moment feud with you.
No,
as far as I knew.
I think you're right about that.
I think it takes two people to feud.
Exactly.
I did not know.
No. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a feud because I think the world of you.
Okay.
And I knew things were going to be fine, as I mentioned earlier, when my son was born. And just from out of nowhere comes this lovely tub of beautiful Harry's Book Club books from you.
You know why? Because I felt you soften during that time. There was something that happened. I saw a light in your eye. I saw, for the first time, you know, sweet would not be a word anyone would use to describe you. But I felt for just a moment that there was a sweetness there. And you know I love books, and I wanted Harry to have his own book club.
Tremendous. It was the perfect gift.
Have you been reading to him?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And he loves books. And I don't know if this is good or bad, but so far in the first 2 years has shown no interest in television. he would rather read the books.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what's your favorite of the books?
Well, you can't go wrong with Runaway Bunny, can you?
No, you can't. Also. My favorite of that is Love You Forever. Isn't that a sweetest story?
They're all great.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like all of them are written by Margaret Wise Brown.
Yeah, a lot of them.
She's written every children's book ever.
A lot of them.
God, you look great.
Thank you. Yeah, I brought you a present.
Present?
I brought you a present. There it is. They put it back there. I brought you a present because I wanted you to know that it's really
and in the show colors.
The color purple.
That's right.
And I wanted you to know it's really over. Okay, whatever it is you thought was happening, it's over.
Right.
There is no feud. There's only peace.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
And admiration.
And admiration.
And
some of that too. Some of that too.
And I'll come to your house.
Yes.
And you'll come to my house.
Yes. I wanted you on.
It's going to be great.
It's
going to be fantastic.
Okay, open the present.
All right, Paul, how about a drum roll?
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, well, here we go. Are you sure it's over?
No, it's over. It's over. Look what we're saying. So, look, it's over.
Oh, my goodness. Well, this is something lovely.
It says to Dave, love, Uma.
More love.
Oprah. There you go. Love, more love.
Boy, that's a beautiful photograph.
Okay.
Now this raises the question
of
was this episode the Academy Awards when I referenced you?
No.
And was that a problem?
No, that was not a problem. But I did say
Problem
this.
for me.
No. No, there is.
I'm glad you were all right.
What I had said about it was there is that moment. I mean, it's a billion people watching around the world.
Sure.
And you can see you moving toward, and I think, oh no.
Please don't bother me. Yes,
please
we had
don't
every
bother
right
me.
to feel that way.
And then all you said was Oprah. I thought it was funny, but
well, you were the one.
Yes.
Boy, I just, first of all, this theater, did this mean anything to you when you were a kid, watching television, the Ed Sullivan Theater?
Oh, yeah. It is, for me, it was watching Diana Ross and the Supremes.
Right.
We were called colored people then, you know. We were back in the day. And it was so extraordinary that you ended up not even watching TV because you were calling everybody going, colored people, colored people, colored people, and colored people on. And so that was in this theater, you know.
Wow.
Because there were so few of us on TV at the time. So we were so excited. I remember the first night they were on. Do you?
I don't know if I remember the first night, but I remember watching Ed Sullivan, for like 5-10 years in a row, every Sunday night with the family. That was it.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what we did.
Did you watch the first night with the Beatles?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was watching
That's right.
too.
Right
Yes,
here on this
absolutely.
stage. Diana Ross, the Beatles, everybody. There's I want you, if you don't mind, to tell me this story I read. It has something to do with you as a young girl wanting a new pair of eyeglasses.
Oh,
does this ring a bell?
Yeah, I was, I had some issues as a kid. And, I've grown out of all those things yet. But I had broken some glasses because I had these awful, you don't have a picture of it, right?
No.
Okay. you know those awful, cat-eyed glasses?
Just kids' glasses of the day.
That were awful, and mine were bifocal, and I wanted a new pair, and my mother couldn't afford it, so I broke them and staged a robbery and put myself in the hospital and pretended to have amnesia when she came to see me.
Now let's slow
But
down
I've grown
here.
out of that.
But let's slow down here.
Okay.
You bring up some fascinating points. One, you staged a robbery.
Yeah.
You phonied up a robbery of your own home.
Yeah, I did, because I thought she had told me don't accidentally fall down and break them. So I needed to do something else. So I thought if somebody broke in the house, hit me over the head, knocked me out,
and
they
broke
my glasses, then I know it sounds, It was at 13. I was 13.
And so then you went to the hospital.
Yes, and I'm in the hospital, and I had seen a Marcus Welby MD episode where the people that had amnesia, this is very true, it's not even sensationalized at all. So I'm in the hospital, and my mother comes in the hospital, and she says, she's all, oh, Lord, my baby, my child. And the doctor said, we don't know what happened to her. Somebody knocked her in the head, and they broke her glasses.
So she'll need a new pair.
And my mother said, they broke her glasses. And she asked the doctor to leave the room, and had one of those moments that Negro mothers can have with their children. It was something about get your black so-and-so up out of the bed,
Now, this is while you were claiming to have amnesia as well?
Yes. No, what happened was my mother said, the doctor said to her, somebody hit her in the head, they broke her glasses, she doesn't know or remember anything. And so that's when my mother said, leave. And she said, so you don't know who I am? And I said, no, ma'am, I have amnesia.
Yeah,
And she said, no, listen, she said, I'm going to give you about 3 seconds to remember. So she starts counting. She's coming closer to the bed. She says, 1, 2, 3. I go, it's coming back to me now. You're my mother.
That's right. You're my mom. We'll be right back here with Oprah Winfrey, everybody. When you're sitting there and Tom Cruise is hopping up and down on your furniture, Did you? I mean, what was your perception of that from your point of view? Was that alarming, or did you think, oh, good for Tom, he's just happy and nuts?
I wouldn't say no. I don't think he's nuts. I thought I had never seen him that way before.
Right.
You've interviewed him many times.
Right. He's never jumped on my furniture.
No, and he'd never jumped on mine. I think that's what love does to you. You know, when you're just all impassioned. But I will have to say I was really surprised by it. I didn't expect it. And as you've interviewed him many times too, he's usually very closed and has his own ideas about what he's going to tell you and not tell you. So I didn't expect it and was just trying to move with the flow.
Yeah, because there's not much you can really do there. You certainly can't challenge that enthusiasm.
Yeah, because I'd never seen that.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd never seen that.
But he's always seemed like a very nice kid, and he's not really a kid, but he kind of acts like a kid. He has a sort of a child's sense of wonder kind of about him, you know?
No, it's intense enthusiasm that I love. Yeah. Don't you like him a lot?
I do. I'm not close to him the way you are. I'm not close to anybody, come to think of it. Are there people that you're just sick of but still come on your show? I guess if you're sick of them, they don't come on, do they? Yeah.
Because at this point, I really just do what I want to do, Dave.
Oh, God bless you.
Yeah.
How nice is that?
Yeah. I'm so glad to be here. I really am glad to be here with you.
Well,
and I'm sincere about that.
I'm very pleased to have you here.
Yeah, really glad to be here. And
you ever get tired of it, though? The day, I mean, you got to do it every day. You got to do a show. Do you ever get tired of it?
So do you.
Yeah, but I do get tired of it.
I really don't, because I feel, actually, you know, this is our 20th year. I've been doing it. I can't believe it. When somebody asked me years ago, would I be doing it 20 years? I said, no, I would never do it 20 years. When Phil Donahue was on, I said, we'll never do it that long. But it's better for me now than it was 20 years ago.
Good for you.
I feel more, because it's not just, for me, it's not just a TV show. You know, you're in people's homes, in their lives, with an opportunity to say things and have a voice and get people to think about stuff.
Well, see, that's the difference between you and me and most everybody else in television. Early on in your career, and you must have been aware of when it happened, there was this connection between you and people watching at home. You know, we are on every night on CBS in people's homes, mostly by accident.
Not. People turn you on and they turn you on and get turned on watching you and
But
stuff.
you know what I'm talking about. You have meant something to lives of people. We are just a TV show. Now, when did you realize that was happening or sense that it was possible? Early on, right?
Well, I have to say this. For so many years, I was just like everybody else. I was just happy to have a job on TV and feeling, you know, my dad's like, well, you need to save all your money because that TV job's not going to last forever. And I will have to say that up until maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, I still had that syndrome that I don't know what'll happen if I lose this job. I don't feel that anymore. But I do feel that...
You've been pretty good with your money, haven't you?
I've been pretty good.
Yeah. That's good to know.
Pretty good. I do feel that it is more than just a show. I'm not just there to entertain you. We're there to get people to think and have fun some days. Some days more fun than others. Yeah.
But it's gotten to be, it's more than a television show.
It is.
It's a pursuit. It's a goal. It's a
mission.
That's right. It's a mission.
It's a mission. Can you see that? Do you ever watch?
Yes, I do. And I recognize that in your show and recognize the absence of that in this show. But that's all right. We're doing all right. You know, I'm not. But I find it admirable, and I want to talk a little bit about how that developed in you as a person. And because this is
so interesting. We're having a real conversation. I didn't expect that.
Well, what do you mean? What did you think?
I didn't know what you were going to do. I didn't know where you were going to be.
Well, it's not like when we have that bonehead Dr. Phil on.
You don't mean that. You don't mean that. I think you and Phil have great chemistry.
He's a lovely man.
Yeah. He is.
Now, again, when you're a kid and it's Christmas time, and this you cite as being the genesis or the awakening in you of something that has now motivated you the rest of your life. It was a very special, sad but special Christmas for you. You're 12 years old. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
Can we talk about that?
I was 12 years old, you know, and everybody knows my story by now. I've told everybody. I grew up poor, and we weren't going to have Christmas. And my mother said, same mother said, get your... my mother said, Santa Claus isn't coming. And I still believed in Santa Claus at 12. It's about time to start getting over it about then. But she said he's not coming because I don't have any money. And that's first. I said, you have to pay him? And she said, no, yeah, you have to pay him, and he's not coming. And that Christmas, that night, around midnight, we were awakened by 3 nuns who came to the door with food, a turkey, a basket, some fruit, a Tammy doll for me. I'd asked for Barbie, but I got Tammy. So it's like,
Tammy, Barbie.
Yeah. But I was relieved because I was thinking that, what is my story going to be? I was thinking, what am I going to tell the rest of the kids? Because, you know, Christmas is about getting up the next morning and going out in the yard. And what did you get and what did you get?
Right.
And I was relieved that I wasn't going to have to make up a story. And I never forgot that with those nuns. And when I was walking around my property in California, just thinking about what I wanted to do for Christmas, I thought about that Christmas and wanted to do that for kids. And I've been doing it. I'm leaving, you know, when I leave The Color Purple. And this weekend, I'm going back to Africa to do the same thing for those kids that have done for me. But you know, I'm not trying to be like Mother Teresa. Everybody should do in their own way what they can do. So I can have a party for thousands of kids. Somebody else might be able to take a kid into their home for a day. Or...
And we believe every one of us probably has a story similar to yours, perhaps not that dynamic, not that dramatic, perhaps, maybe so, maybe even worse. But everybody has a little something that can be applied to the greater world.
And for me, you know, it really is about using yourself, using your life. Come on. Look at how blessed we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so what are you going to do with it? To move it forward.
Yeah, everybody should do that. Everybody should be challenged by that because still and all in this country, things are pretty good. We got it pretty good here.
We really do.
We'll be right back here with Oprah Winfrey, everybody. Oprah Winfrey, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to highlight a couple of things here because at 13, you're living with your father in Nashville. And you're a kid, and 14, you get a chance at a kind of another start in your life. And within 2 years, you're doing news at a local radio station. That's unbelievable.
And you know what's interesting? I've been on TV since I was 19, every day of my life. I've been doing TV since 19. I don't know how many years that is, but it's a long time. It's a long time.
And then you went to Chicago. And where was it that they wanted to change your name to Susie?
That was in Baltimore.
Baltimore.
You
were going to be Susie Winfrey.
Susie Winfrey. Susie Winfrey reporting here. Eyewitness News. Susie Winfrey. And, you know, I wasn't, you know, myself then, and I didn't stand up for a lot of things. But, you know, growing up, Oprah is not a popular name. You never would hear your name called on Romper Room. You were never going to find one of those little license tags, bookplate things. You're never going to see. And when you're a kid, you just want to fit in, and it was not a good name for me. You get made fun of a lot. But as I grew older, it started to feel like myself, that name. And I just didn't want to change it. I'm glad I didn't.
No, you shouldn't have changed it.
I was told nobody would ever remember it, and everybody would always screw it up.
Everybody does remember, yes. And you should enjoy and cherish the uniqueness of it that has befit you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Dave.
you're quite welcome.
Thank you.
Now, here's the thing. I'll tell you my pedestrian impression of the world situation.
Okay.
And you tell me if I'm onto something. Today on the radio I heard that the United States was saying that in some countries in sub-Saharan Africa, they were providing aid for 400,000 HIV victims, patients. And this was up incredibly from like 30,000 patients that they were providing. And from what I know from reading various stories about the conditions in Africa, I thought that 400,000 is good, but overall, continent-wide, up and down, country to country, is just a drop in the bucket.
It's not even a drop in the bucket. There's a pandemic going on. There's millions of children who are going to be suffering. And I've done what I can, and what I will continue to is to wake up the world as to what's really happening. I mean, there are other issues even in this country that are far more disturbing, but you don't want to talk about those, do you?
Well, I'm always taken by what I think, my feeling is about Africa between the crime and the disease and the famine and the genocide and on and on. Is it possible that the continent is in dire prospects that it could, something cataclysmic happen there?
This is what I feel about Africa, India, other places in the world where people haven't had the benefit and the access to anything that we have had. I feel that children starve because the rest of the world sits back and does nothing. I feel that there are enough people on the planet that could change the face of Africa and India and any other country or continent if everybody did what they were supposed to do. But we sit back and we read it and you look at it and you go on and you have a cup of cappuccino.
Right.
Do nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And to see the numbers, it's not thousands, it's not hundreds of thousands, it's millions.
It is millions.
It's millions of people.
But you can't get overwhelmed by that, Dave. Don't let that overwhelm you. Because I was just recently, when I was there the last time, I went with a friend, and the friend had never been. They were like, well, what are we going to, there's so much. You just do what you can. You do what you can.
And can you tell me, and I don't want to embarrass you, tell me what you are doing? Specifically in South Africa.
Well, specifically this, I can't believe you're being this serious, but this is good.
What do you want, Tony Danza?
No, I don't.
Hey, Tony!
No. No. You want to know what I'm doing in Africa?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I am building a leadership academy for girls, and that will be the best thing anybody has ever seen for girls' education in South Africa. And I'm going to go village to village, personally myself, and with a team of people, and pull young girls out of villages and huts who would never, ever dreamed or had an opportunity for an education because you're a second-class citizen if you're a girl in Africa and other countries, and give them an opportunity to come to my school and become the leaders of Africa. And I'm doing that one brick at a time. I'm building a girls' academy, and I'm going to do the color purple, and then I'm going to the Kennedy Center for Tina Turner, and then I'm going to get on a plane to go to Africa. I'm interviewing principals, so I'm going over to interview principals and set up the curriculum, and I'm building a school.
Was this all your idea? Is it the model, or are you reproducing something that has worked somewhere else in the world? It's all your idea.
It's my idea because I believe that education is freedom. Yeah, I believe that education saved my life, and I think that's how I'm going to save. That's my contribution. And, obviously, I have a foundation and we do lots of things. What I try to do is to use whatever I have to educate people. I can't believe you're this serious. I don't know what to say about
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
It's tremendous.
Yeah.
And God bless you for doing that.
Thank you for being so nice to me.
Absolutely. We'll be right back here with Oprah Winfrey, everybody. It's been great fun. I'm so happy you're here, and I guess we'll just pencil you in for another 16 years.
No, this was the time because I'm right across the street.
We're neighbors here.
We're neighbors. Yeah. I'm in the neighborhood.
And tonight is the opening night, and the curtain goes up. Is about 8 o'clock is when it goes up?
No, it's going up earlier.
So you have to be there for heaven's sake.
I have to go.
I'll be happy to escort you over there.
You are going to
escort
escort
I'll take you
me
right over. Ladies and gentlemen, Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, my goodness.
Watch your step, watch your step. Here's where it's going to get dicey a little bit.
Okay. All the way to the theater?
Yes. I'm not sure where we're going. We're going to release you to your own people. Oh, my goodness. Like if we got married, this is what it would be like.
No, I think